Well, hello everyone. It's Thursday.
How you doing?
How you doing, Francisco? Thanks for
Good,
coming to
good.
the studio. All right, what do you want to talk about today? Besides that, it's Thursday and it's getting close to the weekend. I'm sure you're going to do open houses.
Yeah.
I've been slammed this week since Monday with people getting qualified to look at houses and everything else, and that's what I'm saying. We talked about, I think, on Tuesday how it's changing. The market is busier, got busier in January, and even though rates went up a little bit in February, it didn't stop. I had more people getting a contract in February than I had in months.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, honestly, and it was kind of actually a big break. Like even before December, we started seeing this big drop off of buyers, right? And
Because it was a 7.25% interest rate, it just kind of killed people.
right. And
They
then
just couldn't afford it. You had to, $100,000 to buy a $450,000 home, where before you needed 75.
right. And then you also, I mean, I get it, holiday season or whatever, but more than anything, I mean, yeah, that rate was really it was hurting everybody. And then fast forward to like January, drops a little bit, and then everyone's out. In like a week, honestly, what was it, like a week and a half later, shoot back up a little bit more.
No, it went down in January, the 10th, and then around the 13th went down. And then for the full month, they were down. And then the 10th of February, I think it was, or 11th, and then again the 13th, CPI and PPI, when those numbers came out. And then actually what really pushed it was the retail sales for January was up 3%.
Right. So that really helped, and the rates,
That hurt.
or I mean, no, yeah, it hurt where it ended up bringing
The rates up.
right, and more people just ended up. Well, that's kind of what it's been is
That's
people
why.
didn't drop off.
Right, but that's why when you get somebody in the contract, you lock them. You
Yeah.
don't play around with the rate. You don't play around with whatever. You lock them. And for us, if we lock you and it really gets better, a lot better, we can move you to a different investor if we have time. And I say if we have time because, think it could be the last week and they drop. You don't have the time. You'll just figure out refinancing in 6 months
Right.
after 6 payments. But, you have to remember, and if you need to talk, I'll shut up. But remember that, so we were in the low three, high twos, low threes. We went to 5. And everybody's like, oh my God, these are so horrible rates. And then we went to 7.25 to 7.5. And everybody's like, oh my goodness, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. And they dropped down to 5.875. These are amazing. Let's get into contract. It's all relative to what they're used to. And that's what I'm saying. Rates are all relative. So don't worry about your rate. Get the opportunity you have right now to get the house you want at the price you want with some help from the sellers before it goes away.
Right. And we're
I'm
seeing
done. I'm out here. Bye.
no, that's the thing too is you're seeing, we're seeing those big changes that right now, and even new builders, are offering like a lot of these incentives. Like they're not even requiring people to be pre-qualified with their preferred lender anymore.
Right. They just bring us a letter. We're fine with it.
Yeah.
But that'll change in a few months. That's going to change once they get through this inventory they have.
Right.
Or, they want to get some more people on contract. They don't care. And a lot of these people, the local lenders, they don't really have their own in-house. They just have a preferred company. Right.
Yeah, that's typically how it is. And the rates aren't like, I mean, depending on the situation, but they're not really doing much better exactly, on that end. However, it's all really just dependent on the house and how fast they're selling. Because, I mean, for example, right now in Oakdale, there's like 2 new home communities. One of them's like moving really slow, and another one, they just did their grand opening last month, and they're almost gone. Like they almost have sold out quite a bit. And yeah, I mean, they're, it's like different tiers of incentives and things that are being offered too. So it's interesting. We're seeing that big shift.
Right. And you got to remember these people who are getting a contract on new homes, and it's going to take 6 months, 8 months, or 9 months. They're not locking those.
Right.
Which is okay because rates are going down. But when you're on the other side that we just were on, and they didn't lock them in June or July and August, and then they shot up, everybody canceled their contracts in August because of that. Where prior to that, builders were canceling contracts on buyers because they said, oh, by the way, our costs are up 40%. Now your price just went up to that.
Were they able to, like, they were really Like how? I mean,
That's in the contracts.
Okay, so
If the costs go up, they can come back and renegotiate. And so a lot of people cancel, but then other people came in and bought them.
Yeah, I've even seen and heard of like some builders that like they're straight up giving warnings saying like, hey, if someone comes in with a better offer too, which that to me is crazy.
If they own the property, they can do whatever they want. When you own the property and you sell it to somebody, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
it's different than as an agent representing the seller. Right. A seller could do the same thing. I want everybody to come through here, get pre-qualified, get fully underwritten, pre-approved by Ed Parcaut, and they would have to do that.
Yeah.
If they want that, we want all offers to be looked at by him. Doesn't mean you have to go with him, but all of our offers are going to be looked at by him. They can do that. I'm not saying that they do that with me. I'm just saying that's what they can do as a seller when you own that property.
Right. Yeah. No. And then I think furthermore though is like we're leaning into these big changes because you do have, it's crazy to me too, because with those new builds, like I was actually able to help one of my clients get in a contract with one of them. And I mean, the builders know it too. Like they know that right now, things aren't going as good, but they also are aware that within a few months, they're going to be really busy.
Yep.
Like they're giving deals, but they're also starting to cut back a bit. And it's kind of like we've been saying, right, where this opportunity bubble is surely going to be bursting pretty soon.
Yeah, it's already. I mean, it's already. We've got multiple offers. People are not taking. They're taking the one that has less need for closing costs.
Yeah,
it's already happening. It's not in your face yet.
The opportunities are still there, though. Like
it's busted, and there's a little hole in it, and the air's coming out of it. It hasn't crash landed yet, but it's, it's like those balloons we had over the United States before the government got to them. It took them a very long time to get there, and that's what's happening with this opportunity bubble. It's still there, but it's going away. In 45 days from now, I don't know if it'll be here. In 60 days from now, by May and June, I don't think it'll be here anymore.
It's crazy too, because it's like
we're in March, dude.
Yeah,
April, May. That's 2 months from now.
It's coming.
Actually, more than that, 3 if you count all of March, because we're not really in March yet. So today is March. What am I thinking?
I want to say too.
We only have 28 days in February.
Yeah. Oh no, that's like literally. Oh my god! The other day I was over here thinking. I was thinking it was March, like on Monday. But yeah, no, it's crazy because I mean, you and I have been talking about it for so long. A lot of people have been talking about it. We're always seeing like, oh, you're being the optimistic, business people or whatever, right?
You're just pushing properties on us. And You're lying in. You're just trying to sell us something. No, I don't care if you buy it because someone else is going to.
Yeah.
I want to help you, but I can't help you if you're not going to help yourself.
Right. That classic saying, lead a horse to water, but can't make him drink, right? No. So it's kind of like, and again, like I've been even saying where it's like, I don't want to be the I told you so guy, but we're going to see it. And that's the thing is we've been talking about it for months, and the opportunities were heavily there. I mean, constantly too. Like it was every house. Like I got to the point where I was telling all my clients, negotiate right now up front, and then we'll negotiate some more once we get to inspections.
Right. Yeah, just we'll get more money when we do the inspections.
Yeah,
that's the best way to do it.
Right.
But also we're talking about new builds. Now you can go build your own because with the program we kind of dropped on Tuesday, we have a one-time close loan, which means the original loan is your full loan at the end, right? You don't have to go refinance to get another one. That is your loan all the way through. And it's set up to, the builder has to get approved each time they do. It's not a major process, but it's just something. They want to make sure that they can actually finish your job for you. Right. You don't want the fly-by-night builder takes all your money and runs, and then we have this loan on a property, and then we got to spend more money. So it's a great program. One-time close, 10% down. It's a great program, great rates overall, and I don't know what to tell you. If you want to build your own home, we can do this, but just wait a little bit because I think one of the biggest. I mean, go get your property.
No.
Go get your architect stuff done. If you want, there's a company called S2A, which does modulars, which is allowed. Modulars is allowed stick built in a factory. They have these certain ones already made. There's amazing looks, and they can actually create it on the factory, then you just need a guy out on site for 10% of it. And it's a great program. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with this program. But remember, you're going to need sprinklers and you're going to need solar.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit after the show on Tuesday how it always seems like when you buy a piece of land and you build on it that it's going to end up cheaper because you're like, oh, I'm going to do this stuff and everything, right?
But you're not going to do all this stuff because you got to have a contractor. So unless you have a general contractor, it's a family member who's going to go, yeah, I'm the contractor.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Go do all the work and save yourself some money. That's unusual.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing too, is, even like, even if you were to do it yourself, the costs are expensive,
Right.
and
especially right now, like it's going to get better, but it is expensive. It's cheaper to buy a house already built and remodel it than it is to do the other way.
Yeah. But if you do have that dream, right? Like that's what I'm saying, having it completely custom to you, I would say that's probably one of the best, things I've heard. I would utilize that. If I were taking that route, I would 100% utilize it, because if not, like Ed's saying, you got to consider all these extra other costs that,
Permits. We were talking about earlier, permits, school fees, which shocked us when we were our property up there in 32 acres in the middle. I won't say middle of nowhere, but it's outside of Twayhart. And it's like school fees, $16,000 for what?
Yeah. Like you say,
my kids are out of school. They're not even going to use it. Why am I paying for the school? It's just there's all these fees that they need to get rid of to incentivize more and more builders to come to California to build. Also, the other thing they need to do is stop all the single-family homes to rent-only companies.
Right.
I don't want to stop them. We need the houses for people to rent, but we need those builders back building single-family homes for everybody else.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest things we've been saying, right? And we're seeing the backlash of it, we're pretty quickly right now. Like we've mentioned, multiple offers on everything. Our inventory still is relatively low. So
do you know what it is? It's like 1.1 months. But when they keep telling you inventory, active listings, it includes pending.
You're right. Well, that's that's the thing though, is that nonetheless though, we're starting to see more trickle on. But still, it's
1Z, 2Z, 3Zs.
Yeah,
we're still 43% lower than last year on listings. I got one other thing I want to add. All right, so we looked at the numbers, and we're supposed to nationwide be building 1.9 million households is going to be created this year in 2023. 1.9 million households. That means you need 1.9 million homes and multifamily stuff built in order to absorb that. Right now, we might be on schedule for 1.4 million units. That's multifamily and single-family homes.
Yeah.
That means there's 500,000 going to that 4.6 million shortage nationwide we already have.
Right.
So we're going to be not going down in shortage, we're going up. So that's going to be like 5.1 million homes short nationwide. I know it's weird being short homes when you have these homes in Las Vegas and Austin and other places that people can't buy these new, there's nobody wants them. Unless the difference is people left certain places and went to other places. Those places they went to are having the trouble.
Yeah.
The people where they left, they're not having the problem. They want more of those people to leave.
And we're still considering,
so we can get people in the homes.
That's a crazy part too. I haven't even touched on that in a while because it's just been so, different with the interest rates and how everything's been acting. But we have completely overlooked that for a few episodes too, where
6 months, man. No, we've not. I've talked about this a couple times last week, this week, just because the numbers came out again.
Yeah.
And I can see that because before we were so crazy and it was like, it's going to have a bubble because it's so crazy. Now we're short homes. Now everyone's like, it's going to have a bubble. We're like, no, it's opportunity bubbles, but it's just how you look at it. There is a huge opportunity here right now. You can still get a home. In 5 years from now, prices are going to be up 30% higher. Could be more than that. We just don't know. But that's the estimate is 25%, and that's nationwide. California never does anything just nationwide. They usually do it by 3 times.
So, yeah, and California, so like what I was saying too, is just pretty much how we're going to see some people coming back. Like there's a lot of people that have moved, out of state. Already. So yeah, things are going to get competitive.
Because what a lot of people didn't realize is like if they move to Texas, I've said this before, but their income tax, not income tax, there's no income tax, but the property tax is 3%. So if you, and what happens is whatever your house appreciates that year, they can add 10% of that onto your tax bill as a value, right? The new value to use taxes off of, where we're at 3% and we're at 1.25%. Well, that means your taxes doubled every 10 years there. If you buy a rental, there is no cap on what your taxes can go up to.
Wow.
Whatever the value goes up is what the new tax rate is on that. So what happens is, like in Austin, all these people bought all these Airbnbs, and over a 5-year period, the values have doubled and just went up so much. They're trying to sell all those Airbnbs because they just don't pencil anymore.
Yeah, it's messing with the.
So you really need to know where you're buying, what the real tax rate is, and everything else. Because there are states that have really hardly anything, like Nevada and and some other places that have really low, but they might have something else like fucking heat.
Right, that people just don't
Arizona,
like.
122 to 125.
I can't do that. That's like the sticky heat, man.
That's not like sticky. That's like your car breaks down, you pull over, and you die. You can't get any air conditioning. You start walking and you fall apart. So no, I mean, we deal with 112 occasionally, 115, right?
But we still got breezes,
I know, but it's still horrible. I mean, nighttime we get the Pacific Coast breeze, so hopefully, off the Delta too, but you don't always. And that's why I tell people, when you're buying up in the snow, remember during the summer there are going to be weeks it does not cool off up here.
Yeah, I guess
because they don't get the breeze up here, and it's it's like 90, and at nighttime it's 87. It's like Texas.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I was just in Texas and Houston, and it was got there, it was not so bad. It was like 70 and humid. It was and then it got cold, which was great, and then it got 70, 80 humid. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So just before you sell out in California, make sure you really go to there, and make sure you really want to stay there. If they have screened-in porches, there's a reason they have screened-in porches.
Right.
They want to eat you.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I'm
just saying, there's a reason, and there's a reason for that. Where we don't have that here, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might get occasional mosquitoes. That's because somebody left some water in a pot, but dump those pots. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, Francisco. Thanks for being here. More of this whole story is, if you find out what you can do, make sure that somebody does a soft pull on you, not a full hard pull. And if you don't know what that is, reach out to me. I can help you with that. And don't wait. Focus on buying that house now. Look into it. If you need help on anything, you can always go get my book at gethasbook.com, or go to Amazon, type in Parcaut, and it's Financial Freedom, Building Personal Wealth Through Home Ownership. Hold it up to Francisco.
This right here. Beautiful hardcover.
That's right. All right. And then make it a great day. And anything else, Francisco, before we go?
No, that's all it. But definitely, actually, this would be a great read. I have looked into it a little bit and everything, just read a few of those pages.
He falls asleep when he reads.
I'm bad, but it kept me engaged.
And I'm working on the Audible version for you, so don't worry about
that. That's going to be next up. And
that'll be my voice too. So
that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. So definitely, this is all really good stuff. Even just going to somebody like Ed, where you can go ahead and start that process. Just start a game plan. Just have that in mind, because if you wait, the 2 months turns into 3, 4. It never starts. If you don't, it's just like going to the gym. If you don't start it up that first time, it's not going to go nowhere.
That is correct. And just like going to the gym, you need to get started and have a plan. You need to have that plan and stop worrying about it. I have people who come to me and they have a plan for 6 months or a year. That's fine. Then I have people come to me with a 6-month plan that say, they're in contract in 30 days. So you never know how it's going to work. So just reach out to us so we can talk to you, because you don't want to wait 6 months and then figure out you got to wait another 6 months because something on your credit. And now with the soft pulls, you're not going to get hounded. So don't wait. Go out today.
Get out there.
That's right. All right. Thanks again for watching. Thank you. We do this for you.